Nibulisa nonke. And Nibulise futhi the members of the ANC Youth League who are in revival mode. Dibulele omele ANC Youth League, Comrade Ngudle. Bingelele namakhosi wethu akhona lapha nabefundisi bethu nani nonke abantu balapha. Ndiyavuya kakhulu ukuba lapha. Ndiyaqala ukufika apha kule ndawo. And for me, this is a real privilege, a very rare privilege. It's a real pleasure to be here. Apho umama Charlotte Maxeke was born and grew up. Abanye bati no, she was born in Butlokwa. Abanye bati she was born here. For purposes of today, I have concluded that she was born here. Ngumuntu walapha, ngumuntu wenu. Ndivuya kakhulu ukuba lapha right here, and nibulele futhi nohulumeni ukuthi you have also embarked on legacy projects. Legacy projects zikamamu Charlotte Maxeke. For me, it feels like I have come to the fountain of wisdom. Lenda, where she grew up, where she went to school, for me and many of us represents a true fountain of wisdom that today we are given the opportunity to come and honor her on her birthday, which was 150 years ago. It isn't often we remember and celebrate anybody who was born 150 years. We do so as the African National Congress because we have a history. And our history goes beyond the 109 years of the existence of the ANC. The ANC in many ways existed even before then, because as someone said today, Wuti, the ANC is the heritage not only of the members of the ANC, but also a heritage of the people of South Africa. You cannot talk about the history of South Africa without talking about the African National Congress. And today we cannot talk about the history of South Africa without talking about Umama Charlotte Maxeke. She was an outstanding leader, a leader with great wisdom. But Comrade Batabile, I heard you now, Tetangai. I didn't hear a single person saying that she was a very, very beautiful woman. Why am I? Each time I just see a beautiful woman, but a very, very brave woman who had courage, who had wisdom, who had great leadership qualities. Later this afternoon, I'll be spending more time talking about Umama Charlotte Maxeke, about her great qualities, incredible qualities that we need today out of the leaders who are going left, right, and center in our country. She was a pioneer in many, many ways. The first black woman to get a degree, but not only a degree, Mickey Mouse degree, a degree enyane, BSc, Bachelor of Science. And in that, she led the education project in our country. And the Tanda, this thing you would need, Abantu Balapa, you want almost like a memorial which will represent what she was all about. She was an educated person, she was an intellectual, And I support you and I agree with you that you need to have a Charlotte Maxeke Memorial College here in this place. I support Alonto, and I will also make it my task, which I should work with the National Department of Higher Education as well as the Provincial Department. There's no reason why these colleges, ebezikona apha, they've been converted into offices. Why we cannot revive one of them, ibe Charlotte Maxeke Memorial College or something like that. And it can be done, and I'd like to see it being done. Ndiyabulela, I'm not going to repeat what the Premier said. Kodwa ndiyabulela ukuthi you have been able to present to us with great dignity, with great clarity, and you were very articulate, and you went to great depth to tell us about the situation in this area, to tell us not so much only about your needs, but also about izinto ezinhle ezenzakayo apha. I was very happy to hear about Amafama. We've got 16 farmers who are now working 500 hectares of land, and they now want an additional 500 hectares of land, and they want to be helped so that they can stand on their own. Bafuna ukuzimela ngokwabo. And they want the land bank to assist them because they are already doing well. It's wonderful to hear Guti, our black farmers from here are growing citrus, and they are packing it properly in the modern way, and they are exporting to other countries in the world. I am very, very, very proud. Ndifuna ukuthi nami ndibe khona xa niyovuna nindibize nami ukuthi I must also come. Nizozibona ningabiza uDiya yedwa, ndiyamazi. So bangixelele xa eya. Ndifuna ukuthi nami nindibize ukuthi ndibe khona. I must come and see the harvest. I must go to the pack house, and I must see how you package your product and then ship it off to various countries overseas. I also particularly like the fact that you also want to beneficiate. Njengoba uPremier wethu eshilo apha. Ukuthi yes, whilst you are growing and expanding your orange and citrus product yalapha in this area, we should also be able to beneficiate. Ukuthi yes, the fruit must go. It must go to various lands in the world, but we must also be able to beneficiate. Ukuthi kube ne value chain enhle. Some of it can be beneficiated here. Even a juice area as well. The juice area must not only be Cape Town and Johannesburg. Nalapha ibe khona kube ne factory ezawenza i-juice so that kube nemisebenzi ezawusala apha. We must not be creating jobs kwezinye indawo. So I like your positivity, Uguti. You are very positive, and you are looking forward to further development. I really, really appreciate it, and ngiyancoma nyani when it comes to that. And I also like the way you've raised the issue of water. Water is a big challenge for in many parts of our country. It's a big challenge. We are a water-scarce country. And abanye xa bejonga imap of the whole world, xa befika apha eSouth Africa babona ukuthi you are a water-scarce country more than many other countries. So we've got to make sure that we preserve our water, but xa senza njalo there must be equity. Kungabi namanzi azawudlula nje aye kwama-farm of white people and leaving our black communities and our black farmers without even depositing the water there. leyo nto must come to an end. We should all be equal when it comes to water distribution and reticulation, not only in this area but throughout the country. That is one project which I would like to see us attend to. Nalapa, despite all the challenges which the district spoke about a few minutes ago, water, whilst it is a scarce resource, it's a source of life. And our people have a right to have water, and therefore we must solve all the problems so that those taps must run with water, not air, and not fresh air. So le yamanzi, yes, it's a national issue and a national competency. Comrade Premier Wetu spoke about it. He's been interacting with the minister. Yes, we will make sure that we do everything we can to solve it. It's an important resource. It's an important area of the life of our people that we must also attend to. I also liked the positive attitude and Iva Apa. You even have foundations like the Mangoma Foundation. Very good report and Ivile Apa. And I also want to see that feasibility study that you have done. I appreciate the fact that you are involved in food security, and the foundation is doing a whole number of projects and programs. And the Mangoma name is so important in the history of our country. President Mangoma, yes, Maqoma. Comrade Bata spoke about it so well. And I also appreciated what she knows her history. And by embarking on projects like these, I appreciate the fact that you are involved in food security, and you are also looking at this whole area with regards to the citrus farming. Let's turn it around into the citrus valley of our country and get more and more of our people, black people, to get involved. It should not only be the 16, it should be hundreds and hundreds of our people utilizing the land here. Which also brings me to the question of land. The issue of land remains important just as it was in 1912 when the ANC was formed. Just as important as it was in colonial times. We are going to make sure that the land of our forebears, of our forefathers and foremothers, is returned so that we can have more citrus farmers here in this area. Singabe siloku sijonga amafama abelungu, sithi nawe amafama, and we just go there to work. We also want to work the land, and I'd like to see us work the land here, and we will make sure that the land is returned. And this is where you actually see the importance of the land issue. When you see how the inequity of the past continues, where you see big commercial farmers and the land hunger that our people have, and when you then compare it with the capability that our people have, the 16 farmers are already farming, but they only have 500 hectares. They need more land. And the others have thousands and thousands and thousands of hectares. That is where the unfairness is. And that is precisely where the African National Congress is going to address this matter, and we are going to return the land to the people of our country. That we will do. Bivile nale problem enye yezindlela. The roads construction in our country, particularly in the rural areas, is still a major challenge. And it is a challenge that we've got to resolve. Bivile futhi ukuthi you also want street lights so that you can reduce the incidence of crime. And naleyo, we want to attend to it. Also the issue of health, the clinics, and also the sport issue. I also particularly appreciated, Guti, you also want to have a youth development center where Minister Ndabeni Abraham should come and roll out a spectrum so that you can have ICT and have access to Wi-Fi and all that. It is important, and she's committed to doing that. Because she knows very well that we cannot have Wi-Fi in Port Elizabeth, in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, and so on, and not have Wi-Fi here as well. So as the whole issue of spectrum is being resolved, we are going to make sure, Wuti, it is resolved in a way where it brings about equity, where our people here as well will be able to have access to ICT. A fourth industrial revolution, and you want a college which will teach our young people in that regard as well. The fourth industrial revolution cannot leave our people who live in this area behind. Nani, you want to be part of the fourth industrial revolution. So mnageniti divile. I've heard, and now this has been a real fountain of knowledge, but also a fountain of getting to understand the challenges, the successes, and the good things that are also happening here, but what government must also do going forward. I heard very clearly as well what the Youth League had to say, and I'm particularly pleased, Uguti, we have a Youth League Corps that is now going to revive the Youth League. Bazayivusa i-Youth League. Ibuyele kuleya Youth League, the Youth League of Dr. Nelson Mandela, or Oliver Tambo, or Walter Sisulu, and many others. So the Youth League is about to take off. And I am really pleased about this leadership corps that we've put in place. And they want, as they say, they are committed to uniting the ANC. Le nto abayibonayo ukuthi the ANC idonselwa le na le, they want it to come to an end, and it will come to an end because unite we must, because if we don't unite we are going to fall asunder. So the African National Congress, and Mvilu comrade wethu from eSanko ethi lungisani nendlunkulu. That is precisely what is going to happen. A Youth League is going to work with us to make sure that we unite the African National Congress. There is no other way, comrades, other than uniting the ANC. Ayikho enye indlela. Any other way means the ANC continues to fall apart. And Tinage, as the leadership that has been elected at our conference of the ANC, our mandate was very clear. Unite and renew the ANC. Renew the ANC in line with the values, the principles of the African National Congress. And one of the key things that you must do is to make sure that the leaders and the members of the ANC adhere to those values, the values that are going to lift the integrity and the reputation of the ANC. High things that are going to take us down into a hole or a dungeon. Address the issue of corruption. Make sure that you address corruption within the ANC so that our people can regain their confidence in the African National Congress. Namhlanje, I can see that nearly all of you love the ANC. But you will love the ANC more when you know, Uguti, the ANC is committed against corruption, and the ANC will act against people who participate in acts of corruption. Because as a Stetinyan, abantu baguti, the ordinary people of our country, corruption yona abayifuni because they don't benefit from corruption. And if only do, only the few people benefit from corruption. And you want a leadership that will give clear leadership to the African National Congress and to the membership of the ANC. That is what the people of our country want. And that is why abantu bala South Africa, they see the ANC as their heritage. It is their heritage, and a heritage is something that you hold close to your chest. You guard it, you love it, and you secure it, and you uphold it. And today, we celebrate 150 years Gamamu Charlotte Maxeke. She is our heritage. We are here, and we were very proud, Comrade Batabi, when the NEC agreed that this must be the year of Charlotte Maxeke. The very first time our movement has recognized for the whole year, the contribution of a woman leader. And she was the most outstanding woman leader that we have had. Formed the ANC Women's League, the then Bantu Women's Organization, and was an internationalist, was a Pan-Africanist, was everything that is positive that we would like to see in our leaders. And I am very proud that the whole year we are going to be talking about her, extolling and uplifting all the wonderful works that she got involved in. And for me, it is a real joy to be here and come and drink from the fountain of the waters that flow here, the waters that bred her into the woman that she was. And today, I got a grasp of what she really meant, not only to you here, but to the rest of the country, that she was an outstanding woman. So we're going to go to Fort her, and we're going to speak more about her. But for me, it was important to go to Sikale Apa, and also to have a launch of those legacy projects. And I do think we should continue honoring our leaders and putting those stones in place so that we continue to honor and remember them. And that is why on the education side, because that was the real mainstay of her existence, on the education side it will be important, Premier Dia, that we should work with our higher education department or ministry to make sure that we do have a real memorial Mamu Charlotte Maxeke here, and we have a real college for her here. I can't think of a better place. Yes, we've got a hospital in Gauteng named after her, but let's also have what she really stood for and what was the works of her life, where she sought to get everybody to rise. And let us install a memorial college here that is going to make her what she really stood for and what was the works of her life, where she sought to get everybody to rise. And let us install a memorial college here that is going to make her to be able to get everybody in this area and the whole country to rise. But Bagiti Ndiabulela, I'm really pleased to have been here, Ndiabulela Nyani, to have met all of you. And this for me has been a most wonderful morning. Phinde ndibulele futhi ukuthi you've observed the COVID rules. Every one of you ufake imask. Noxa ningabonanga ukuthi nibahle kanjani kodwa ndiyanibona ukuthi nibahle. Imask iyasifihla kulezi insuku. But I want to thank you that we didn't go beyond the limit of this room, and we were still able to celebrate impilo ikamama Charlotte Maxeke. Ndiyabulela. Amandla! Amandla! Enkosi.